This episode of Your Mom's House is brought to you by Sattva Luxury Mattress, the only online mattress company that provides free delivery, setup, and mattress removal.
Welcome to Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, and
Christina Pajitsky.
welcome to Your Mom's House.
Gene. One of the things I think we haven't even mentioned, Gene, these episodes are happening at a pace that is different than normal because of this movie schedule. So like right now when you're hearing this episode, I'm shooting my DPs, my boy girls, my boy girls.
Your scenes, as they call them.
My scenes. We recorded this probably 3 weeks or so before you heard it.
I know. We usually do it in real time. Like we do it the day
like
before.
2 days before it comes out, a day.
Just to stay fresh, because we're kind of a current event show. We like to be up on what's happening in the world.
That's right, Gene. And yeah, so it is one of the things that's sort of a pain about right now.
Well,
but
we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We always
We're
do,
trying.
Gene.
We're trying. We're trying to make it work. We want to keep doing our show.
Can we please talk about? So we get obsessed with.
Well, let's play the show open.
Oh wait,
real quick.
I didn't know we were doing that.
Let's do the show open as we always do, and then we'll get right into it. Here you go. New episode of Your Mom's House.
Go and fuck your mom, okay? Go and fuck your mom. And when you fuck your mom, ask your mom to shut the fuck up, okay? Because she gave birth to the wrong baby, okay? From the moment she gave birth to you, you was a mistake, okay?
This shit is big time!
Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother to this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
Welcome to Your Mom's House.
What were you saying, Fart Mix?
You want to fuck with my mom?
Oh, that does kind of sound like that. Yeah.
She
got real upset.
She's very feisty.
You know what?
What's that? Is that like a game thing?
Yeah, she's on was it Twitch and streaming thing, and people can comment. And what really jumped it off was this.
Shut up, CX, okay? You don't say that I look and sound retarded, okay? The only thing that is retarded is you, okay? For saying other people are retarded. When you say other people are retarded, it means that your mom actually gave birth to the wrong baby. Because you don't ever have the rights to judge people when your dick is not even existing. You can't even like have a proper dick, and you say that I look like a retard.
I don't know.
I don't think she looks that way at all.
I don't know
She doesn't look that way.
I don't even know what the insult is that she's saying about the dick.
No, I don't know what that is.
Or the mother.
Go and fuck your mom, okay? Go and fuck your mom. And when you fuck your mom, ask your mom to shut the fuck up, okay? Because she gave birth to the wrong baby, okay? From the moment she gave birth to you, you was a mistake, okay?
I
Get
think,
it, girl.
I like it. I like, by the way, I don't think I've ever heard "go fuck your mom," and when you fuck your mom, tell her to shut up. So it's actually a pretty great insult.
Yeah.
It's saying "go fuck your mom," and when whatever noise she's making, you tell her to shut the fuck up and take it. She's ruthless, man.
She's great. I really like her.
You have no rights to say I'm retarded because your mom didn't give birth to a shithole like you. You are a shit asshole.
Get it? Yeah, girl.
Okay?
Good for you.
She's fired up.
I like the heat.
Yeah.
I like her fire.
She's very fiery.
Can I tell you, if we trained women to be more like her, I feel like the world would be a better place. Like to stand up for yourself and not take any shit.
Be a lot.
I think that's good.
That'd be so retarded.
Yeah.
A lot less Harvey Weinstein action happening in the world. You know what I mean?
Striking back.
You think he could take advantage of her?
No, I think she's
calling the shots today.
She really is.
She's a fucking animal. I like her.
Yeah. You can sense her rage. She's really upset.
I feel like that's what the internet's for. A lot of people, it functions as a place to just let your rage out.
Yeah. I have a feeling she's been called that a few times, though.
The R word?
Yeah.
Oof. I don't even want to say it, but the R word. You think she's been called? I don't think she seems that way. But, hey.
Yeah.
Potato.
It's a very hurtful word, you know?
It is derogatory.
It is. So you shouldn't say it. Yep. Yeah.
Goodness. I mean, she's maybe not as sensitive to the word as we are because she's of a different culture. So we're going to be a little forgiving here.
Yeah, you can let her say what she said.
That's her opinion.
But yeah, it's here in the United States. At least,
sensitive.
I don't know where she's from, but here in the United States, you can't talk like that.
You wanna fuck with my huh?
Similar.
Yeah,
Similar. Sorry.
Similar. Yeah.
Similar. I think she might be Thai.
You think so?
Duck, 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 Thai.
What?
No, like that. I hear that.
Okay.
Well, you're the master of accents. You tell us.
I don't know, actually. I don't know where she's from.
Cambodia? I don't know.
I need to polish up on some of my Asian dialects.
Can we please talk about our show now?
Yeah, we can talk about our show now. A lot of good stuff happening. Where is it? I had it here for us.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah. Real talk. Oh yeah. Real talk. Oh yeah. Real talk. Oh.
So that's our reality show stinger that we had
been
made
a
long
while.
time ago. But we haven't delved into a reality show in a while. We've been watching more scripted stuff, which is,
Right.
good
Well,
quality
I'll
stuff.
tell you why. I'm a huge fan of the reality genre. I love it. I feel as though
You got me into shows. I used to
good.
never watch
I
any
love
of
it.
those.
But that they're not making them as real as they used to. They're so fabricated
But
now.
this one is.
But this one's 100%. It's a documentary type style.
Well, yeah,
reality show.
it's a series. I mean, it has a run. It's on Netflix here in the U.S. I say that because we have a worldwide audience.
Oh boy.
Anyways, the show is Age Gap Love, right?
Yeah.
Age Gap Love, and we talked about it last week. But my goodness, I thought it was a one-off because that's kind of how it was presented.
Yes.
This is just tackling one subject, and then I hit more episodes, and there's a whole season.
much.
I'm so obsessed.
I know. I haven't seen you this joyful since you got into your Narcos telenovela.
I think the reason that I'm so obsessed is the show is permission for me to bring out my worst personality traits.
Yeah.
My most critical, mean-spirited, but funny and fun personality traits. Because the whole time I just shake my head and I'm like, ugh. People are
Disgusting.
disgusting. They're so gross. All the old people are gross.
The makeup's all fucked up on the teeth. Are all
The young people are
fucked up.
gross. The whole thing is just
Everyone's
gross.
Yeah.
And I have so much fun just hating them the whole time. Oh, I think that's going to be our guest. 1 second. All right. Our guest is here. He's fueling up with caffeine. He said he refused to come on unless he had coffee. I was like, all right.
Jeez.
So, yeah, he was very, very demanding. So we, we cater to our guests. So. But yeah, so Age Gap, I don't know. You're right. I haven't had, because sometimes when a reality show we get into, it's usually like kind of background music.
Right.
Like you don't have to focus on it
Right.
that much.
Like the
we've
Shaws
watched-
of Sunset. It's
or
kind of
that,
silly.
what is that? Below Deck, the
Yeah,
yacht thing.
it's like Candy.
It's like I can miss an episode,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that's the guy. That's cool. It's like Candy. You just kind of catch. But this one, I am so into studying, and I also love making a list as it goes on of who's grosser, like who would
Yes.
you like to fuck less.
Yeah, we
the
pause
people.
frequently. See, and the thing is, with us as a couple, everyone's like, you guys love each other so much. There's so much love. And I'm like, a lot of our relationship, we're united by stuff we hate.
Yeah.
It's actually our ability to sit down and watch a show like that and criticize the shit out of people we don't even know.
Yeah.
That
And
really bonds us.
ruthlessly do it, and with no heart, and just it's
No.
really, if someone were listening, they'd be like, "You're a real asshole, man," because we're doing it. It's such a mean way, but it's just you and I. Like no one's really getting hurt. But
You know what I would like to do if we could through licensing? I don't know how that would work. Is do like a live streaming of us
you know how we could do it?
or watching the show.
I'll tell you how we
together.
could do it.
Yeah.
We just say this podcast is going to accompany episode 2 of Age Gap Love, and then you press play on it here, and we
Yeah.
have a different feed, and then you just talk
do it.
as you do it. Yeah.
Can we do it in bed though? I want to be able to lay in
It's
bed
possible,
with the
yeah.
dogs
You
and
can just
the-
bring a Zoom recorder up
Yeah.
there. What my favorite was, so the new champion of grossness, because every episode you introduce new older people, and we're like, that person is disgusting. So there's a guy now who is like the champ of gross.
I don't
And
think which one you feel it because we
it was
differ
the new
on who's
champ. No,
grosser.
he had the really long white hair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
It's disgusting.
he used to be a minister. He's so nasty. And his so age,
Yeah.
this age gap is 40 plus years or something. And she's like pretty nice looking gal.
Normal.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And she's like, yeah, they start talking about the makeover that you go, oh, she's going to give him a makeover. And it's like, no. This is him post makeover.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he's got his long white ponytail.
He's already had it, and you're like, what?
And she starts talking about when I met him, his breath was really sour. You're like, what? And she goes, his teeth. I asked him when the last time he went to the dentist, and he said 20 some years. And she goes, you could really smell his breath strongly, and his teeth. And she goes, now, he's had his teeth white, and you're like, whitened? Those motherfuckers are green.
They went from green to yellow. Babe.
Yeah, and she's like, and his breath is like passable now, and you're like, oh my god. I mean, he is so gnarly, and this poor girl she's like fucking 30 or something.
Yeah.
And they have 5 kids running around the house.
know.
I just love. You know what it is? I think it's why everybody likes those shows.
mouth smells.
You just end up feeling better about yourself and the decisions you've made
course.
and where you're at when you get to look into somebody else's home.
Well, what I was wondering, the breath alone is such a deterrent for me, and somebody's mouth being that jacked up. Like,
Yeah.
what did she like about him? I'm not sure.
I don't
we
know.
That's the problem with these.
I think it was just, what I think it was? Because they met in church. I think it was, there was some type of power dynamic. She saw that he was the minister, so she sees him in front of the church.
Right.
He's a father figure literally to people, not, in life. In other words, he's giving them guidance and advice.
Right.
And
It's
I think,
paternal.
yes,
Yeah.
she was attracted to that paternal energy.
Yeah.
And he told, he would give the sermon every week and this and that. But then she's like, but physically, he was repulsive.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
How are you banging this guy?
I don't know. It's astounding. It's really crazy.
Jesus. My least favorite one actually is the acting couple where the guy's like 60 and she's 22.
Yeah.
And she was homeschooled and she grew up in a religious upbringing, so she's totally socially R-worded.
Yes.
One might say. And, and he's not bad looking objectively for an older gentleman,
Yeah.
but he's
You
such
don't say that I look and sound retarded, okay?
Yeah.
but he's such a boner, a dad boner. Like his jokes are like, well, this is
He's
the size of a small
terrible.
child. And I'm like,
He's terrible.
oh my God, your
And
personality's so unbearable.
Well, you were right about this. This is one of my favorite people in the thing is that guy I thought was less physically gross, but he is creepier. There's
There's a creep factor.
There's a creep factor because there's something he's disguising
Yeah.
with that aw shucks bullshit.
Yes,
that
it's
he's
phony. Ugh, yeah.
doing. And it's
Yes.
because you know he's preying upon this. She is now 22. They met when she was like fucking 18.
Yeah, not
And
cool.
and he's like, shucks. There's some bullshit there. So that's scarier
Bullshit.
for that guy.
Yeah, he's really taken advantage of her naivete.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not fair. You know what it is too. I have more respect for the trophy wife and the older gentleman couple.
Yeah.
Just because there's an even exchange of power. There's an even
Yeah.
exchange. It's
Right.
good looks and getting laid for money.
Yeah.
Older guy, younger woman, but she's hot. He's
Yeah.
got the money. So there's an exchange. There's a contract. But when the balance is totally not fair.
Yeah.
Where it's like she's 17 when we met, homeschooled, totally naive. You know the world, bro.
Yeah.
You know what you're fucking doing.
Right,
here.
right, right.
And he ain't that wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
she's doing her own dishes and shit.
Yeah.
They
Well,
ain't going. They're going to fucking Chili's for dinner.
I would like that camera to stay rolling in that house.
Ooh, I know.
That one's the one.
For a couple of years when she
Yeah.
finally wises up.
She'll wise up at some point.
Yeah, it's unequal. What about the older lady who her 28-year-old boo-boo is doing her toenails? Filing her nails and her feet down.
And they're rotten. They're rotten and crusted.
He likes to give me a pedicure.
No, she's
They're American,
Yeah.
all right.
She is a troll. She's hideous, and something's really fucked up with that guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
weird too.
He's on some type of spectrum because
Yeah.
he doesn't. It's not, the eyes are not
No.
registering regular emotions, and he's like, and then I saw her and we kissed and she's like,
Yeah.
she's Dude, it's
He's
gnarly.
touched. He's
Yeah.
touched too. So she's taking advantage of some nice looking touched guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's touched. He's really
He's
touched.
definitely R-worded.
Yeah.
And she's taking advantage of
he's
that.
pedicuring those horrendous fucking mops on her. It's just gross.
When are
man.
you going to give me a pedicure?
If they looked
Don't
like
you
that,
love
I
me?
wouldn't go near anything like that.
I can't even reach my toes anymore. When are you going to
Yeah.
start doing it?
I mean, I would do that for you, but you don't. But here's the truth: you don't look like that, and that's why I would do that for you.
Thank you.
If you looked like her, I just file papers. I just serve you.
Babe.
I mean, she's so disgusting. She is disgusting.
It is fucked up too as a spouse where you just let yourself go. It's not fair. It's not fair to
No.
do to somebody. I don't know. All right.
All right.
Let's get our guest in here. I
Okay, give
can't
me 1
wait.
second. Let me bring our guest in, and I'm very excited.
Oh, what an
All right, we're back.
name.
We're back. Gene. Yeah, we were talking about our son's name, Ellis. It's,
Yes.
It is true that we saw the movie Mud.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey movie. When
I thought
was
you named him
pregnant.
after Doc Ellis.
No, people have.
pitcher
And then
who
we
pitched
both
the game
have,
on acid.
We both have immigrant.
I like that better.
I know it's a good one.
Yeah.
But we both have immigrant parents, as you do. So then people were like, "Oh, Ellis Island." That's why.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Yeah."
That's
not true.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I would have
Yeah.
thought.
So I'm like, but actually, that's the one I have to bring up whenever somebody goes, "What's his name?" I have to go like, like Ellis Island. They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, that's his
Yeah,
name."
you say Ellis
And then
like the
they're
island.
Yeah,
and then they
Ellis
go,
like the
oh,
island.
Yeah.
Like,
I like it. That's a great name.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He's a great kid.
Yeah, he is.
Well, with us is the fantastic Tom Rhodes,
International comedic
Hello.
superstar Tom Rhodes.
who's not a stranger to your mom's house. You
It's
were
been a
with us.
long
It's been a long
time.
time in Redondo. We had.
It's
our
a
studio.
long time, man. And we
I
had
know.
such a good time. I thought,
know.
wow, I'm going to be a regular on this show.
Well, no, we stopped doing guests
What
because
Yeah, we stopped guests for 2
for 2
years.
years.
Oh, okay.
No guests.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we did the Culligan Man. Remember, he goes, "Hey, Culligan Man."
That's
Remember
what a
that?
great memory you have.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
totally
great.
loved you.
Because I had fans of you guys, of your podcast that came to my shows and said, "Hey, Culligan Man." That was funny.
So silly. But you tour. You're like a world-renowned comedian. You're like
You really do.
Yeah.
You're road dog to the max. Like people are like, "Oh yeah, I do the road." I'm like, "You don't do the road like Tom Rhodes does the road." You've done it. You've done comedy fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah. Well, I been doing the international circuits for 20 years.
what? That's before anyone
And
else.
I had that sitcom many years ago on NBC, and when the sitcom finished, I had a lot of money, and I had played everywhere in the United States, and I looked at my money as like kind of my NBC artist grant,
Yeah.
and I started taking trips to London, and invested in myself, slept on a friend's couch, and actually the movie Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
The thing I liked the best about that movie is it takes place on Fitzroy Square, and my friend Rich Hall, he lived on Fitzroy Square, and he gave me a key to his apartment. So that's where I would stay when I would go to London, and it's like a short walk to the London Comedy Store and Soho.
It's a great
Phantom
neighborhood.
Thread. So if people know, that's P.T. Anderson's new movie.
Oh, P.T. Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie.
I love Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh my God, he's so amazing. I haven't seen it, but he's such an amazing. I bombed in front of him like a month ago. Yeah,
Cool.
bad. So
A really cool guy. It's a great film. But I love the fact that it takes place on Fitzroy Square.
But
and-
you've done, London, but you've done all over Asia, the South Pacific.
But what I was going to say was London was the key to the international circuits for me. I got in with London, and then that led to gigs around Europe and Asia and
Now,
Australia.
can I ask you this? Because I want to know if this happens to you. When you step into a whole other country, in other words, whether it's a European country, Asia, whatever, do you have first show anxiety of like, is this going to work?
I think that's the for me, that's kind of the drug.
That's the fuel.
Is this fear of, oh shit.
This might not work.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, and what is
Or
going to
what is
work,
gonna work,
and then
yeah.
the fact that you have to think so quickly on your feet, like
People don't
this
realize-
reference isn't going to work.
Yeah.
You know how like when you're locked and loaded in your brain and you're telling a story
like,
and you're
this is
like,
how you
and
say
your
it.
brain is thinking, okay, I'm going to go into this little section
Yep.
where I'm going to talk about this next, and then you get this little panic fear of, oh my God, is
But
that
that's
gonna
what you're
work?
addicted to in a way.
It is actually.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
my gosh.
And then like it's really cool like when I'll do I didn't live anywhere for 10 years. I put everything into storage, and like the last time I did your show I wasn't living anywhere.
No, that's right.
And
crazy.
And it was really cool. So I would do 3 or 4 months a year in Europe, and then a month in Asia, a month in Australia, 6 months all over the States. But like when you got like a week in Ireland booked and a week in England and then a week in Holland, it's like it's different. So you're like, oh, okay, wow, Ireland was great, and I really got the hang of it by the end of the week, and Irish audiences are the best. And then you go to England and you're like, it's completely different.
Really?
Yeah.
Irish audiences are just down for it. They're into
Well,
it.
Irish audiences, Irish, you can see it in their comedians that there's a storytelling tradition.
Yeah.
So they really love stories.
Yeah.
And then you go to England and they like self-deprecation.
Right.
I like
you don't see,
England.
never see like a real arrogant. I mean
Right.
Jimmy Carr, but you
Right.
never see like jacked up, arrogant English
That's
comedians.
true.
They're
So true.
they're always pooping on themselves.
Seen as like an American quality.
Yeah.
The bravado and the like. And then I Save the Day is an American thing. And like the British sentiment would be like, and then I fucked up the day for everybody. Like that's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
exactly.
flip.
I remember I did the Edinburgh Festival in 2014, and this woman wrote this review of me, and she said, "Don't we all wish we could be as confident as the Americans?"
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's so stupid. Like, I've had ups and downs in my life,
Sure.
and you guys know me personally, and my dad and my sister died, and I went into emotionally. I was in the toilet.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken
Sure.
over losing these people that I loved, and it took me a while to build back my confidence. And then here's this woman going, "Oh, it's this American quality." No, it's we're each individually fighting our own fight in life, and
Yeah.
things happen,
Of
and you
course.
got to constantly be coming back from the brink, whatever you
yeah.
are,
One thing
whoever
I
you are.
do not like about the festivals and the overseas comedy scene, like the one thing I do not like the idea of reviews all the time. I really don't, because you don't have any exposure to it when you're kind of U.S. based. Like you do shows everywhere. No one ever does a fucking
Yeah.
I mean, once in a blue moon, maybe some city beat blog will be like, I went to the show, and they kind of do. But like when you start doing some of these festivals and you see all out, I think it's just such a departure from what I'm used to. I was never a fan of that. Even if it's like a nice review, you're still like, I don't know. It just feels like you shouldn't be doing a write up.
Yeah, who are they qualified? What is their qualification?
Yeah, it's just some fucking
But it's gotten even worse because, like in Edinburgh, the newspapers in England used to pay for these reviewers to go up there, and most all of those newspapers cut their
sure.
budgets. So
You mean
now
they cut
you've
their
got
stand-up
you've got
review budget
anybody
down?
with a website.
Yeah,
Reviewing things, and you're like,
nonsense.
and like there's like college kids writing. It's like, what are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I've seen some of those, by the way, that are absurd. Because the one place you do see the review here, stateside, is colleges. I've done colleges, and the reviews. It's not even that they're critical. It's so bad, just such terrible writing, because it's just like a freshman, journalist. So it'll be like, I went to see Tom Segura at our Student Performing Arts Center. He opened with a joke about how cold it was here. The joke went like this. I thought it was very funny.
Christ.
He next tackled these topics. Some of them, and it's very just, stating a fact, stating the line, stating review. And it's like, you're putting that out into the internet memory bank. It's just, it's terrible.
You gave away your joke.
Of course he gave away the joke. Then he would do quote long things. You're like, dude.
Yeah.
Just
there's an English, I hate to bring it up, this website, it's a comedy website. And they wrote something about a joke that I did about, not a joke, it's a story that happened to me. And it's a joke on my new album. And my wife Ashna and I were talking about the Me Too movement. We did an episode for my podcast. And talking about experiences. And I talked about this comedian who had tricked me into going back to his apartment when I was a very young man. And then this comedy website in England wrote this salacious story. I mean, they wasn't salacious. The headline was, Tom Rhodes accuses such and such comedian of sexual assault. And then they quoted my joke, and they quoted us talking about it on the podcast. And one of the things that bothered me the most, well, I mean, they're trying to get clickbait.
Yeah.
I didn't accuse the guy of sexual assault. I tell a story of a creepy, older, famous man who, tried to trick me and got me back to his apartment and manhandled me.
Yeah.
But he didn't punch me. He didn't penetrate me.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I think the sexual assault is such a serious issue in the world right now.
Yeah.
How dare this site
It's kind of
trying to get trivializing the movement, and then also they gave away my story, the punchline.
It's like, dude, that's the worst.
It was wrong on many levels.
But what qualifies anybody to be a critic? I mean, even if you look at Siskel and Fuckbert, or what are their names?
Ebert, he's dead.
Rebert, they're dead. They're both,
Apparently, they both hated each other too.
Hated each other's guts.
So these are two men who are full of hate. I'm assuming too. Either failed artists or whatever.
Yeah, one of them made it's one of those celebrated awful movies.
Right,
I think it was Ebert,
like a Rotten Tomato, like Valley of the Dolls 2 or something.
Movie.
So you're a failed filmmaker yourself, and that qualifies you to criticize other people. How?
I know.
Like, it's just, I don't know. I hate people that criticize art. Like, what are you talking about?
That's why I roll my eyes at every top 10 list. Like as if anyone. Here's the thing: everybody can write a top 10 list, and technically everyone's right because it's your fucking top 10 list. But the idea that we would make one person's top 10 lists as credible, whether it's movies, music, books, comedy, it's like, why is your top 10 list of value? You don't even do it. You don't do the thing that you're saying you have the authority on. Like, you're not a musician.
Right.
You don't write music.
If Bill Burr would have put out, hey, top 10 specials, I'd be like, all right, that's fucking Bill Burr.
Yeah,
let's listen to that guy's opinion on, comedy.
It's absurd.
But, I
know. It's so
gross.
gross.
Why do we fucking listen to these jack-offs? Not only that, there's a lot of good movies that they got terrible scores on.
I know.
You and I we totally discredit when you're going through the iTunes or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even listen to that guy. Let's see if it's good.
There's the only ones that are pretty much they're spot on is if it has single digit approval. Like if it's like 8% of people like this movie,
you're like,
it might be dog shit. But if it's if it's 35%, it could be a decent movie.
Yeah.
Just some people, just didn't resonate with that and their sensibilities.
Well, you look at the Oscars and you're like, is America really watching these movies that the Academy has a big heart on?
And I gotta tell you, they made this big push now, but now every category has like 10 nominees, and I'm like, it's like too many nominees, man. You got too many people up for.
I watched Shape of Water last night.
How was it?
Yet to see
it was you know what? I can see. I think that's the
review.
I mean, I really wanted Get Out to win, but I can see why Shape of Water did win because, and I at the very end of the movie, I go, I get it. It was a love story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a woman and a fish.
And they're fucking.
I mean, you remember Splash? We all loved Splash.
Right.
It's, and so I thought, Get Out was a horror movie, and horror movies never win. And my wife loved Three Billboards,
I've seen that one either.
which is about hate and people dealing with hate, which really speaks to, where the world is today. There's, so much hate on all these different
I love
levels.
Get Out, dude. It's such. I don't know. I could step into a class about that.
I think so too. I think he should have won because the guy invented his own genre.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been done since Quentin Tarantino in 1992 with Reservoir Dogs. That was like such a it's mind blowing. Invented his own genre.
Yeah. It's
so for that alone,
and hearing him talk about I love Jordan Peele saying that he started and stopped writing this movie like 20 times.
Yeah.
And then
thinking that people wouldn't like
it. This movie never get made. And
when I lived in Amsterdam, Jordan Peele was in Boom Chicago, this improv theater in Amsterdam. And I had a late night talk show on the Dutch television, and I would stop by there. There was a bar out front. It was in my neighborhood. And he was the guy that I would talk to. I'd pop in there, and he was a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
And I very just lovable, wonderful guy. And it's funny, like when you know somebody and they knock it out of the park. Like I watched your special, I felt the same way. I was
thanks,
like,
man.
Yeah. It's like a good feeling when you see people knock it out of the park.
What about
and you're
my
like,
special? You didn't mention mine.
I loved your special as
Thank
well.
you. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
but what was it? Was that a year ago?
Oh my God.
I haven't had one in many years.
It's October.
Was it October?
It's a while ago now.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of old news now.
It's old news. It's October 2017. It's
Was
old.
it really? Okay,
I'm so
God,
offended.
I'm
I don't
so
care. I
sorry.
really-
I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, but here's the thing. I'll say this before the thing about
It's fine, Tom. It's fine.
the thing about
I
that.
loved your special.
See, it was
Okay.
great.
Nope.
Now I'm gonna feel bad all day over this. You know,
What was it
comedians
called?
are.
Like, I'm the mom or something. What's it called?
Oh my God, you guys.
What's that?
Her special. No, it's called Mother Inferior, which is
Shit
the
in
best
my
title.
face.
Mother
But,
Inferior.
Guys, don't. I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking, Tom.
But one thing the thing I love about, I'm so disappointed in so many movies. I mean, you go into a movie, you want to be surprised, you want to have things happen that really you didn't expect. And so many movies, when you press play, it's a blueprint that they're following. You go like, this is this scene. I know what the next scene does. This sets up that. This is that relationship. Here's the conflict. Here's the resolution.
Yeah.
I saw the movie the whole time. The thing I love about Get Out is just so many layers and so many elements of surprise. Like you're constantly like, holy shit, this means that, and this, like the fact that you could watch a movie and be surprised so many times, captivated by the story. That's what to me was like the most amazing thing about that film.
Totally, like when the woman's hitting the teacup and he's falling down the hole.
Yeah. The metaphor of the sunken place and institutional race. It's just an incrpeople. If you haven't seen Get Out at this point, it really is an amazing movie. People have emailed that a few weeks ago they were blown away by your chicken noises. That you do a really good chicken noise. I guess you did one on the show, and I'm so used to your chicken calling that it didn't really stand out. But
your chicken.
No, I mean, it's in my special, Tom.
I am not going to watch any more movies until I go watch your special again.
There we go.
And I'm going to write the most loving review
there it is.
that has ever been written.
Jokes, guys.
It's the craziest, most unique, odd. I mean,
I like her hat.
People do things here that you don't ever see anyplace else.
One competition that people flock to for locals really needs no introduction.
Wow.
Probably because it's not hard to hear. This is the National Cluck-Off, where people from all over the United States come and compete to see who can mimic a chicken the best.
That's great. I'm from Oviedo, Florida. And Oviedo is famous for the Oviedo chickens.
Really?
That walk around on the little downtown area.
Where is Oviedo?
It's
is that Panhandle area?
No. It's east of Orlando. I mean, it was a charming
like Cocoa Beach, kind of
towards Cocoa.
Okay.
It was a charming little citrus village when I grew up there, and now they built a circular highway around Orlando, and it is a highway exit now. There's a Chili's and a Target and all that.
All right.
But there's still the little downtown
they're winning
area,
it.
and there's a Popeyes fried chicken, which is funny because these chickens walk around in the parking lot.
Oh, God.
And
terrible.
that's the one thing my little town was known for was the
chickens,
the Oviedo chickens.
Wow.
Well, to tie this all together, I mean, people are asking.
They're hankering for it.
They want to.
You got
They
it.
say, "Can Christina?"
No, I can't do the call. The rooster call is very.
No, that's different. But
that's a specific.
But you have done some impressive animal noises. I think you did a goat.
I can do a good goat.
Is it sheep, goat?
Okay, let's start with the chicken.
Okay, let's start with the chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, the pressure's on now.
But this is when the winners step up.
Yeah, loosen up my face.
Okay.
I can't laugh though. I can't laugh.
That was great.
Really
Like
great.
that one?
Yeah.
What do you think?
That was really good.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
That was really
What do
good.
I win?
You could
Can I get a hat?
compete. You could compete.
That was really great.
Thank you.
really
Can you guys
was.
do a chicken?
I don't think I
What
could.
kind of animal sounds can you guys do?
I don't know. That was really good.
That is not you.
That was me. I just did it.
What? Come on. What animal sound?
I like the
can
way
you
you stuck out your chin like that too.
I'm not. I don't do. I'm a master of accents, but I don't do.
I'm master of animals.
Yeah. Here, they want to know if you can beat this guy.
Okay.
But one man entered the Cluctagon and didn't lay an egg as he
Cluctagon.
took home his 12th. That's right, 12th.
Whoa.
National Cluck-Off title.
It's like music. They say you have an ear for it. I have an ear for animal sounds. Any barnyard animal I can pretty much mimic.
Wow.
Where is that?
Talent.
Where was that?
I don't know. I wish it were in L.A.
Yeah.
It's the craziest, most unique,
Chicken show. I'd go.
odd. I mean,
I don't know where this is.
It's been an old age question. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh,
What a
God.
boring intro. I
know.
mean,
It's,
do you want to hear my goat?
I do.
Okay, ready? There's
Yeah.
also a visual
Yeah.
aid. Ready?
Yeah. That was really
like that
good. Yeah, that was really good.
One man entered the Cluctagon.
The Cluctagon.
The Cluctagon.
Come on, guys. Step up your hand.
That was really good. See, you do have a skill
Thanks.
for this. People were right.
Yeah.
They spotted it correctly.
Yeah.
You're really good.
I can pick terrible reality shows and I can make animal noises.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's what I got. What's your talent? What's your odd talent?
Oh, wow.
Can you wiggle your ears? Double jointed? Can you flip your eyelids?
Wow. I haven't.
Can you pick your nose with your tongue?
No, I cannot.
When you traveled Europe so much, did you ever meet this guy?
Yeah.
What?
I was thirsty.
Those nipples are disturbing.
I want to breastfeed you.
Oh
Here
my
are
God.
Why
It's so hard.
Why did you associate me with this video? That's
Europe. You've traveled Europe a lot.
That's everybody in Europe.
Yeah, that's how they are, right?
Yeah.
Germans,
I don't know.
anyway.
You spent more time there than me. Those are so thick, right?
So weird,
thick.
man. That is so bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the offer from that gentleman in his apartment? Should we play that? For
Should we have
Tom?
Rhodes assess?
Yeah.
Which offer though?
You know, try.
Oh yeah. You want to go all classic on them?
Well,
Okay.
I feel like it's been a while since you've been in your mom's house. You should know what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me if you.
Topical.
I don't know if you're down with this or if you want. Oh yeah. Because you said that. Well, now you have a place to live, but if you ever travel again and you need a place to live.
Black guys who love to fuck and fuck good. If you're a hot black guy and you want to fuck me at $23.95, if you want to move in, you can move in, but you gotta fuck me. I need to be fucked a lot, man. Get free food, free rent, and everything else, man. Here's the deal, man. Men from jail, homeless, or you're a thug. You want to come move in? Your friend can move with you too, man.
You think he would have
Free
at least
rent,
sat
you
up
get
to
used
make
the
this
key.
video?
Home
The
and
fact
out.
that he's like, it's a bad angle to be lying
it's
down when you're
terrible.
looking for like a sexual mate,
Yeah.
partner.
There's a
Sit
whole
up.
lot of wrong.
You're
You
right.
know, you don't want that double chin angle.
You're the first guy to mention his position.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be setting up. You
Definitely.
At least.
A little more lighting, better lighting.
Yeah. Cover up those under eye circls.
Yeah. Yeah,
Better
got a little
background.
foundation.
Yeah, a little something.
Yeah.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
But anyways, free rent. If you're ever in, I don't know, I forget what city, but I'll find out.
The great thing about not living anywhere for 10 years and then get everything out of storage, my apartment looks like a National Geographic gift shop.
Oh,
my God.
Does it really?
Yeah, and then I was blown away to find I didn't know your mother was from Peru.
Yeah.
And if you come to my apartment, I've got Peruvian blankets.
You said you love Peru.
Oh.
Peru is my favorite place I have ever been in my life. And my all-time favorite souvenir I ever bought anywhere in the world, and I've been doing a joke about it, is my handcrafted Peruvian chess set. And it is the Incas versus the Spanish conquistadors.
Yeah, well, we know who won
And-
that one.
Well,
Yeah.
and I suck at chess. Whenever
Yeah.
I play, I'm the Incas. So when I get slaughtered, it's historically
Makes it-
accurate.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, when I lived in Amsterdam, I had a late night talk show for 2 years, and then the same network let me be a presenter on a travel show for a year, and I got to film a highlight on Peru. So I didn't go to the Amazon North part, but I went almost everywhere else. I traveled. Well, I was there for like almost 2 weeks, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Did you do ayahuasca?
awesome.
I did not. When you're filming a television show.
Oh,
Yeah, they
that
don't
too.
encourage that.
Unless you're Anthony Bourdain.
Or if it's like Vice or
Yeah.
something, then it would be all about.
I've never taken my wife there. I should.
I know.
And you let this man impregnate you without
I
taking you to the
know.
motherland?
And now it's too late. We got 2 little ones. We have to wait until they're
Wow.
older.
I know.
I want to take Ashna there.
Yeah.
She's nervous about it. She read something about Shining Path. I'm like, that was
That's gone.
in the 80s,
dude.
What's that?
man.
That's the terrorist organization.
Like in the 80s.
Oh, gosh.
Dude, I was there when they were setting off bombs. Like I was spending my summers in Peru, and you would hear like,
Oh, my life.
and see like buildings shake.
Wow.
Windows shatter. And the next morning I would call my parents, in the U.S. and I'd be like, yeah, they, Shining Path set off a 2,000-pound bomb yesterday. And they're like, yeah. So everything else
Wow.
good, buddy? I'm like, Jesus, you're not nervous at all.
I
They were
know.
like, no.
When we went to Machu Picchu, when we left, the road outside of Machu Picchu, some like kind of country road, there was some protest of some kind going on, and they had rolled massive boulders off of the mountains into the road. They would block that was apparently a way of protesting in Peru.
I did not know that.
So,
That's
like-
some like really rural shit, though. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
We got no other way to voice our displeasure.
Of course.
Somebody get up there with a...
Oh, my gosh.
No, they got. I mean, that organization's long gone, man.
No, I know.
Abimael Guzman, that's the leader of the Shining Path. He's in prison for life. He's there in an island prison, like they're Alcatraz.
I want to go back and spend more time in Cuzco.
Great.
It was the
So
it was
fun.
the Rome of the Inca Empire.
Oh.
And there's this
We have
famous.
a mug from Cusco.
Can I ramble about this?
Yeah.
There's this famous 12-sided stone.
Uh-huh.
The Incas did not use mortar. And this stone is like 10 tons, and it's this 12-sided stone, and it's in this foundation wall. And the metaphor is that no stone is too irregular not to fit in place somewhere. That was the way
that's
that they.
deep as fuck, bro.
That's the way that they did their masonry.
I love
That's
that
cool.
that when you're in Machu Picchu and you see these, 15-foot, 5,000-pound stones, and they're laying flush with another stone, and all they can do is hypothesize about. Like they're like we would today in 2018 we would use tractors and bulldozers and
Yeah.
equipment, and they're like, we have just theories. We don't know how the fuck they built this and how things
It's crazy.
moved and laid like
Right.
Llamas
And some
doing
people
it?
think aliens might have.
yeah, I
helped
mean,
them.
they just don't
yeah.
know. It's really
It's
crazy.
so impossible.
And they're like, they had thousands of people, but we still don't know how they would make it look. And I mean, they made buildings out of rocks.
crazy.
It's crazy.
In Machu Picchu, the way the like home dwellings are laid out, that there's still running water that runs
Yeah.
through them, which is amazing.
And they took you to the sacrificial chamber where they used to just slaughter people.
Oh,
and
cool.
Everything is positioned so that, you could worship the sun. Because they're fucking stupid primitive.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
bring this stuff
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that
Pretty
would be
great.
great.
But my
Yeah.
favorite thing, the train from Cuzco to Puno.
Mm-hmm.
That you can the last car, the Inca class is the first class, and the last 2 cars on the train have leather armchairs.
Yeah.
So the regular train ticket is like $14, and then
That's from Cusco to Machu Picchu?
Cuzco to Puno.
Oh, to Puno.
It's like
Okay.
7 hours through the Andes.
Okay.
Puno is the biggest city on Lake Titicaca.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah, you know
14
what's on
bucks?
the shores of Lake Titicaca is a statue of Beavis and Butthead laughing. But so one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. So the last 2 cars is the first class, and it's only like $27. You got leather armchairs, and the caboose is a bar car, and the ass end of the caboose is an open air banister, so you can get a cocktail at the bar, and then you're like leaning against the banister as you're going through the Andes,
Oh, how
and then there's
cool
like
is that?
herds of llama. It's just absolutely.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
You should go sometime.
Yeah, we'll see. I got other shit going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny you said that your parents would send you to Peru. And my parents let my best friend Shauna and I go in the summer of 94. We were 17 years old, not yet 18. My dad, just let us go to Hungary. And this is right after communism fell. This is only 2 years after the Iron Curtain fell.
Yeah.
So Budapest was still, it's pretty much corrupt, still run by the Russian mafia. The apartment that we stayed at didn't have a phone. We had to use the phone.
See you later.
See you later, bitch. And on the corner of where our apartment was in Hungary was a place called the Black Rouge. It was a strip club. So there was terrible elements. And we would just, we were 17. So we were out at night, boozing because you could drink in Hungary. No one gives a shit.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
I was 17 with my best friend. Running these streets. I would never let my kid go at 17. But they thought Hungary was the way it was when they were, when they were living there during communism when it was safe. But
I thought
not at all, dude.
I thought my parents were going to panic the morning after this one particularly notable bomb was set off because it was so powerful that we were let's say 15 minutes outside of downtown Lima, and in the house that I was staying in with my uncle and my cousins and aunt lived. They had a window that was like an old school. It was like 150-pound.
Try Amazon.
You think so? No. So it was like a 150-pound window that you used to crank, right? And then it would go. It would open by a crank, really heavy and enormous. And in the middle of the night, the bomb that went off was so big downtown that window blew open.
Oh
right?
my
And
God.
then just shattered everything. And it was national news. I mean, it was international news because the Shining Path movement was growing, and I thought they were going to be like, "You're getting on a plane today."
Right.
It barely registered to my parents. I was like, "Did you see it? It's on CNN." They're like, "Yeah, it's how it goes." You guys gonna go do this? You're gonna still going to school today? I'm like, "Yeah." You not worried about this shit at all? And they're like,
Nah.
no. And my uncle was in media. So they're like, your uncle is a target because the Shining Path would target people with influence, So they're like, he had bodyguards. And I'm like,
No.
you're not worried about this?
Well,
And
good
they're
thing my family didn't have any influence.
Yeah.
We're just scumbags. Just Hungarian.
Like, totally ridiculous.
What the fuck, man? What's wrong with our parents?
So did you know that one of our guys, this guy here, who's also legendary on our show,
before you have sex, if you want to be horny for 2 or 3 hours like you've never been in your life, and you have access to marijuana too, good weed, listen to me. True weed alone can get you really hornier than normal, but Benadryl, take about 10, 12 Benadryl before you want to have your sexual fun with your partner or whatever you do or masturbate.
So what do you think, first of all, about 10 or 12 Benadryl?
After looking at that guy, I never want to have sex ever again. That guy was really disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been featured on the program a few times, and he's back. This is yeah.
We have an update.
Well, he has I guess this is just a commentary that he has on a topic that is important to us.
Bet you his view counts have gone way up
Let's see
recently.
what he-
For what reason? I don't know.
Let's
He's got
see
an
what he-
audience now.
See if you agree with what he says
Sure,
here.
sure.
Okay?
He makes sense.
So I was wondering to
Jesus
ask you,
Christ.
dentists and
He
doctors.
trimmed his beard, at
here,
least.
for now, what the dentist?
Dennis.
Do you really,
He's questioning
I was wondering
Dennis.
to ask
Okay.
you, dentists and doctors. Do you, for now, what the dentist? Do you really wish that all of us would have no more troubles with our gums or teeth? Because if you do, then you don't make any money and you don't have a life anymore, and you wasted your life. So if Christ comes right now and says, "Well, I'm going to heal everyone on this planet. I'm going to heal their teeth," then where does that leave you, man?
Wow.
Right?
I have more serious issues with my dentist.
Than this?
Yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean...
Wait, you're saying that he has a ridiculous beef with something irrational? It's an irrational beef.
Well, first of all, if you're going to make a video, put on a shirt.
Always put on a shirt.
Always put on a shirt.
He has the opposite philosophy. He never has shirts.
It did look like he had some kind of hair gel in his hair, though.
Yeah, well.
But my dentist displays vacation photos in the waiting area.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think that just breeds resentment. You're
Yes.
sitting there, and like there's pictures of him like on a boat in the Caribbean
Yeah, fuck
or
him,
wherever,
man.
and it's like
He's like, you're about to pay for that.
Yeah. How many cavities you
I think
got?
it's so offensive.
You didn't have a cavity, but I just got the bill on this fucking Bahamas trip, and now you do have some cavities.
My kids want to go paragliding.
Yeah.
God.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Well, this guy's got beef with everybody.
What I love about
How did you find this guy?
People have
his cousin.
they sent him in. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I think my favorite thing though is that he really thinks he cracked a case with this one. Where he's like, now if you don't have cavities anymore, where are you gonna make your money?
Right.
And he really feels like he solved the case.
He just mic dropped himself.
He totally
dude.
mic
Yeah,
dropped it.
"That's
He's
what's
like,
up."
where's that?
And where does that leave you, man?
Man.
Like,
Yeah. Conspiracies. Yeah, he's talking some shit.
he really
I
talks. some
nailed
shit.
you.
I nailed you.
Figured out your whole scam.
Yeah, he's just
Yep.
like a homicide detective. He just really solved the case.
Yeah, Detective Shalacy's on it.
So if you, how's it been? By the way, we haven't seen you in a while, but how do you feel being housed now?
Oh, yeah.
So if you went 10 years without a permanent address,
I love it.
Do you like it now?
Yeah, because Ashna loves to cook, and it's interesting the little things in life, like having a sock drawer
Yeah.
and an
good.
underwear drawer, really thrills us, and the fact that we can buy family size shampoos.
Yeah,
and
everything was travel size for
Everything
years.
was travel size forever, and then like we opened the fridge and we're like, we own this mustard. That's our
hilarious.
mustard, man. And it's nice too. This is my third time living in Los Angeles, and I used to not like Los Angeles, and now I love it because I'm older.
There you go.
I'm married, and now I can appreciate the fine fruits and vegetables that are available in the
So
markets.
good. So good here.
I lived here 20 years ago when I had the sitcom. I lived on top of the Hollywood Hills in this rock star apartment, all glass walls, a view of all the lights of Los Angeles. I was swimming in cash. And then 10 years ago, I lived in Koreatown, and I was broke. And now it's like the Three Bears porridge is just right.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
a good story.
I'm
That's
not
good.
broke.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
great.
rich.
Yeah.
Just kind of, life enjoyable.
But it seems like you're very
Good place.
content and in a very good place. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
that's
that's
awesome.
got to feel so displacing. That one thing I didn't like about being on the road was that the constant living out of the suitcase. Like when Tom and I were really hardcore road dogs, there was a few years there where, you go out Wednesday, you come home Monday, and then you reset it. Was just living out of
And
a
we had to take-
suitcase.
Well, we had Ashna, my wife, traveled with me for 8 of the 10 years that I didn't
That
live
is
anywhere.
crazy.
And I told her when we got together, when, she's from Holland, and when we, the first year was a long distance relationship. And then I said, if you want to be with me, you have to reduce your life to 1 checked bag and 2 carry-ons. And for a woman
2
to
carry-ons.
for
Wow.
for a woman to reduce her life to like 4 pairs of shoes,
Crazy.
very admirable. She rolled with it, and we had a great adventure. When we had time off, depending where we were, we would go, like, and especially now with like Airbnb
Yeah.
and Uber,
God.
and you can basically live anywhere and have a nice life. 4 years in a row, we went to Rome and rented an apartment for a week or two after
great.
I did like a couple months of gigs in Europe. Did a month in Asia, then we went to Bali for a couple weeks. When I was still drinking in the States, when we had time off, we would go to New Orleans. We loved New Orleans. San Francisco. Depending where we were when we had time off, because we didn't live anywhere, we could live wherever we wanted.
It's great.
Here's what I want to know: with all this traveling, when she was with you, how often did she go to the show?
A lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why I married her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. She that's one of the things that I love the most about her is she loved not
So
coming from a
funny.
comedy world.
Yeah.
instantly loved comedy.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
loved hanging out with comedians.
It's so fun
And-
when you start hanging out with comics. It's more fun than watching them do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
comedy.
totally.
Yeah.
So like that was the best thing, and then doing festivals around the world, and then having comedian friends in all these different countries.
Yeah.
Go to Australia, and then there's this group of comedian friends to hang out with. Go to whatever country, and then there's or go to Chicago, go to New York, and there's that new group of friends every week to hang out with. And I also liked the fact that she was a heavy drinker.
She was?
That she
I didn't
could hold.
realize.
That she could hold her liquor.
Oh, that's
and I was a heavy drinker forever.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, you got to have a partner in crime, right? You don't want her to be.
yeah, so it was fun. We were partying and hanging out with comedians, and when I busted my head open and stopped drinking 4 years ago, she dialed it back enormously.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You guys are a perfect match, man.
Yeah. And it's funny because Tom and I are the complete opposite of you guys. Like if I would go on the road with him like years ago, I would never go to his show. And like pretty much vice versa. I don't think you ever just sit and watch me.
Well,
adoringly.
no.
Like
Really?
no.
No.
Because we're so over it.
Well, like I get anxiety being in the room of a show. Period. It doesn't even matter
Yeah,
if it's
so do I, actually. So
I don't
do
like
I.
it. I don't like being in the showroom. Like when I'm not up there.
I
So in other
thought
words-
you guys would have like us that when your partner sees you so often, you got to make your show lively for them.
Oh God, no!
No?
I'm the opposite. If
Really?
I know he's in the room, it's my kryptonite.
She asked me to-
she asked me to
Get
leave.
the fuck out of
Like,
here!
get outta
I
here.
hate when he's watching me.
Really?
She asked
Oh
me to
my
leave.
God! There were years I would not let him watch me because it was like it gave me so much anxiety because you know me as a
Yeah.
human, and then to see
The
me that
only
way, I was like,
thing
no.
that would happen now is like because we know each other so well. It's been so long, and it's such like a deep rooted relationship. Is if we're in like a work mode, where in other words she goes, I'm workshopping this thing. Let me know what you think. She might say like, so watch this specifically, or vice versa. I'll be like, I'm doing this thing. Do you think this is this or that? But then it's like we put on like work brain. It's not. I don't feel like I'm watching my wife. I feel like I'm watching.
It's a disassociation.
Yeah, you're like disassociating, and then we're talking about a bit, but just for like the joy of watching it, I can't even. I can't even do it.
Never. I never. Watch
I don't like.
you.
I don't like watching. Like if I have a spot at the store tonight, if I go there and they're like, I'll find out when am I up. Oh, you're up in 20 minutes. Someone's on stage right now. I'll pop in. I'll start to watch them, and after a couple of minutes, I'm just like, I got to get out of the room.
Me too.
So I have to leave the room because I
That's
just don't,
funny.
I don't like standing there watching it.
No.
I love watching comedy. I like sometimes I'll get there early when I'm at the Comedy Store, and I like when like somebody is destroying the room before, where you can say something, and then it's. I'll give you an example. Like I go to New York once or twice a year just to do sets at the Comedy Cellar.
Uh-huh.
I love it. And last summer, I went to New York, and I had to go on after Amy Schumer. And so Amy Schumer, I had to follow her like 3 times that week. And, she's from New York. She's
Right.
just
It's her
hometown hero. Everyone loves her. She's destroying the place. And she told a story about her father. She said he's kind of an asshole. He's got MS or whatever, but she's just her father and she loves him. And she's been paying somebody to come and jack him off.
Oh God.
And so this was her closer. And she absolutely destroyed the place. So like you got there's the normal anxiety, nervousness as a comedian when you're about to go on stage and you're in your mind about what you want to talk about. And then when somebody's on before you and they're absolutely ripping the place to shreds and they're being adored, and then that adds even an extra layer of intensity to your anxiety.
That's right.
And
I think
so
you're right. That's what it does for me. I don't like that.
It just came to me the first night. I'm like, oh my God, she is absolutely I can't believe she's talking about her dad like this. So it just came to me like moments before I walked on stage. I walked out there and I just acted very kind of shy and sheepish. And hi, everybody. Please forgive me. I'm a little nervous tonight. This isn't my normal job. My normal job is I jack off Amy Schumer's father.
That's great.
And I'm
There
not
you go.
not used to working under these bright lights. And normally I work to candlelight with some soft Sinatra in the background, and like it's like
Changed
it's
the whole
like
thing, yeah.
it's like surfing. You're jumping on someone else's wave.
True.
Totally.
True.
No, but you know why you do that though? Because you're a better comedian.
Professional.
Yeah,
That's actually true. I have to go pee.
No, that's
the only time I'll tell you this. The only time I do feel inclined to like, pay attention, is if someone is ripping the room before me.
Yeah,
that will make me. But I'm doing that not for my own curiosity. I'm doing that to be able to be effective and know what's going on. You know, what I mean?
always watch the person before me just so like, if they
they do this topic, or
do this
whatever.
topic,
Yeah.
or
Have you ever thought about, with all the touring and all the years you've been doing it, have you ever thought about how many hours you've probably written or no?
No.
You never thought
well,
about it?
I mean, I've put out. I just came out with a new album, All Hail Laughter, and that's my 4th album.
But how much unreleased stuff?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I have videos of things from the past. I don't know. It's just amazing to me how long I've been doing comedy, and that I can't sell more tickets in certain places. I'm in Sacramento next week.
Where are you doing?
At the Punchline.
Such a great room.
Great room. I love Sacramento.
Yeah.
And Lady Bird was one of my favorite movies of the year. I thought Greta Gerwig should have won the best actor, and I loved the fact that the film took place in Sacramento. It's this girl coming of age story. Anyway, I get this email yesterday, just saying that minimal tickets have been sold, and it's like, when does this anxiety leave you as a performer?
Yeah.
How much do you have to do in your life and career
To make it
where
do
it's
something.
like, it's I shouldn't have to worry about
I know
a room like that.
So what though? But the weird thing is, everybody will have a theory, and nobody is 100% right, because there is no formula. If we all knew the formula for sure, then everyone would just be like, "Oh, just do this." But that's the thing. It's like you just don't know. I mean, sometimes it's something online. Like people start selling tickets off of viral videos now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can just do something that just blows up online. All of a sudden, that sells tickets. Sometimes it's more traditional. It's TV, it's movie, or it's a special that really resonates with an audience. But even that, you just don't know it. There's no formula. That's the most, I don't know, frustrating part. But that's the part that, if there was an answer, it's like how do you make a movie be a blockbuster hit? And they're like,
well, it's like, I don't know. I guess you think about things the way you are in your life. Like there's certain comedians I love, and like I will go see them. I'm fans of certain people. I love Van Morrison. Van Morrison played at the Wiltern last week. I saw him once before in New York years ago, and he's older.
Yeah.
And I went, and I'm a fan. It's like I could appreciate just being in the same room with the guy because I love him so much, but only because I'm a huge fan of Van Morrison. I could pick out the 5 songs that I knew. I think anyone else who went to that show would have thought, "Oh my God, I can't believe he didn't do Have I Told You Lately?" Or why I wish he'd have done more hits or whatever. I don't know. I guess people, who knows what I'm trying to say.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I know what you're trying to say.
If you love somebody, you would support them.
Sure. Yeah, it's true.
I guess.
No, it's true. It's true. It comes from having a devotion to being a real. That's what a fan does.
Well, I mean, there's some cities, like San Francisco and Chicago and Atlanta.
What's your best city?
I love San Francisco, the Punchline.
Yeah.
I like Minneapolis Acme.
Yeah, that's great.
The Atlanta Punchline I've been playing for years. Chicago Zanies. There's a lot of them that I love.
Yeah.
The Sydney Comedy Store in Australia is one of my favorites.
And they're good to you.
I was there last year, and it had been a few years since I had been there. But yeah, I've played there a lot through the years. It's one of my favorite rooms in the world. Have you played there?
I did a guest set there when I was in town for a festival a few years back, and I got to do a guest set there, which was really fun. That was it. That's the most. And
I love Australian audiences, and Sydney's one of my favorite cities in the world.
I just had to cancel.
Magnificent.
I was going to do Sydney next month, and
why'd you cancel?
Because I booked that movie. So it's like a good reason to have to cancel.
Yeah.
But it's fucking my second cancellation.
Or well, maybe when you go back, you'll do the Enmore Theater.
That's what I was booked to do.
The Enmore was amazing.
I was booked to do it. We were.
Yeah, and that part of town, Newtown, is like it's the cool, gay, artsy area. Like if you were an artist or a musician.
I'm just bummed because here's the thing. Now I want to rebook Australia, but I cannot book something again and cancel.
Right.
But I don't know what. So I want to book something without a lot of a heads up. In other words, I want to be like, hey man, can we try to book Australia for like 8 weeks from now, so that I know that I can definitely do it.
Right.
But I don't know if they'll go for that. You know,
It's a pity. Melbourne, of course, is an amazing
it's
city.
awesome. Yeah.
Brisbane, Perth.
Yeah.
Love these places.
I was supposed to do
Oh
all
my God,
four.
in New Zealand, the New Zealand Comedy Festival.
Haven't been.
That was one of the best months
I refused
I
to
ever had in my
go.
life.
Yeah, I refused to go.
Really?
No. I actually asked to go, and the promoters were like, we don't think you should add New Zealand to this. And I was like, why? And they're like, because it's not that big of a market and you're not that big of a name. And I was like, all right. I just thought it'd be
Really?
fun. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I'll just leave it as it. I mean, it was
See,
their.
that's
it was
what,
their
what I'm
call.
talking about. Like
Yeah, I know.
after all you've done,
they were like,
really?
no, yeah.
It's like
They said no, though.
You know what's
when
funny?
I tried to add New Zealand.
what does a performer have to do?
Well, it's so funny. Tom and I talk about that. Like in our business, you're never ever enough on the food chain. Like
Yeah.
no matter how successful you are, you're always a piece of shit to
We
your
were
agency
saying
managers. Like
we were saying that like they'll start saying things to you like they'll go and then this is the offer you're going to get, and somebody in your position should be pretty happy with that offer.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was what we were talking about when you were going. I got a message about my ticket sales for
Yeah.
next week in
And?
Sacramento. I'm like, what the fuck do I have to worry?
Yeah. And by the way, it
not
is
my problem.
At what point in your life?
And
you
then
know,
it's not only that.
your their problem.
The real job of a real club is that you're supposed to deliver the thing on stage.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you do what you can in your podcast, or you post that you're coming somewhere, but they are your promoter. That's the job. They
right,
are
but
the
and a
promoter.
lot of clubs don't look at it like that.
I know.
Now you're
Now they're
supposed
like,
to
you're the
also
promoter.
be the
and that's not your
PR
job,
person.
You know?
Not my
what you're
job.
doing is like extra as far as promoting, but they're supposed to promote your show, and they're supposed to be creative in ways to get people to come to that show. You know, and so when they're like, "Yeah, you didn't sell tickets," I feel like be like, "Nah, you didn't sell tickets,
Right.
Because you're supposed to let people. What did you do? You sent out an email once or something,
Right.
Like, why don't you be a little more proactive about
Well,
this?
and then they tell you, "Oh, we got to back out this amount from your pay because
Yeah.
it cost me like
Yeah.
$5,000 in advertising."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?
Did you know that you can ask for?
Well, I have $5,000. I didn't see any bus posters.
I know.
Where's the billboard?
I didn't see
Where's
any-
the? Yeah, are you
right.
fucking joking?
You know that you can legally ask for receipts on that.
I would like to.
Whenever you do
Who was it? We were talking about that with Bill
and
Burr. I
they
think
go,
was talking about
they'll if they do like deductions, they'll say advertising this. You could be like, I need to see the receipt.
I'd like
receipts on
to,
that.
or the ubiquitous radio spots where they're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
we spent thousands on radio." You're like, "Okay, that's really hard to trace." Like,
You should be like, why would you do that?
what?
You know?
Right? Who's listening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is
radio?
always, oh, you just missed your bonus by 11 people. You were-
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, if you sell 100 tickets, you're going to get the bonus, and we only sold 89.
Yeah.
It's like,
so-
who's fucking counting?
I had
I
one
know, so
time where I
great.
did a weekend a few years ago at a club that held. I think the club held, let's say, 350, and I had a bonus that would kick in regardless if it were free or paid tickets, and I had paid tickets. The bonus would kick in at 300 capacity. So if as long as there were 300 people in the room, I would get the bonus, and I had like between 285 and 295 at every show, but paid.
Oh, that's great.
And they didn't give me anything.
Yeah.
And then I called
That's
my
the
agent, I was
business
like,
for it.
what kind of fucking deal is that? I sold tickets
Hard tickets.
Right.
And then, but I didn't
Ah,
hit
you
that
were
magic
500.
number. And they're like, we'll get them next time. And I'm
Next
like,
time. No.
Yeah.
How about I do the other club next time, asshole?
How about I'll
Exactly. Yeah, no, I love. He's like some of these club owners driving a brand new Mercedes Benz every year, and it's like,
Okay.
yeah, wow, you just missed the bonus.
There's
again.
a place in town here where the guy would. They don't pay you for spots, and he would pull up. He'd be like, "We can't pay you for spots." He'd pull up in like a new Lexus.
Well, that's
He'd be
why you
like,
can't pay.
Yeah, you can't dish everybody $15 for a set.
No.
And he was like,
My favorite story in the world, Chad Daniels, who's hilarious, who you're friends with. You guys did that documentary together.
Yeah, I Need You to Kill.
Yeah. So he did some club, I won't say where, and the guy, the owner of the club, pays you a different rate contingent upon what time of year you do the club. So in the summer, let's say he'll pay you $1,500, but in the winter it's $2,000. And so Chad goes in the summertime and he's working out new material. And the club owner is like upset with that because, Chad's working it out. So it's not like kill, 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 kill.
And he knows that Chad's capable of it.
Of course, he's super funny. He's a really funny comedian. And so the owner is like, hey, man, what the hell? Like, you came and you did all this new stuff. Like, you're not killing. What the fuck? And he goes, well, I'm doing my summer set to go with the summer rate.
He stuck with doing this new set that wasn't killing.
That's
just to tell that guy I'm doing my summer set.
I don't know him, but now I love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Doing the summer set.
And so the guy's like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm giving you what you paid for, man.
Right.
Summer set. I mean, have you ever heard of that? I didn't know that a club. I never heard
I
of it
know
before
that
this one club
clubs.
did it.
Yeah, I know that. I know clubs, especially
so
in
silly.
cold markets.
Is that a room in Texas?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you after the show.
It's in North America. Cold market clubs, especially your mom and pop clubs.
Yeah, the Midwest.
They're always packed in the winter because people pack up, fill it up.
Yeah, and then clubs in like Texas and Florida in the summer because of the air conditioning.
Yeah, they're full.
So
they're
the
full.
opposite.
Swap,
So it's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so but like those cold places if you sell tickets there in the summer, they're like, all right, you're legit. But they expect to have more empty seats in the summer, and the idea that they'd be like, and that means we're not going to pay you as much is yeah. So it's the business
my
we're
summer
in. It's
set.
the shittiest, man. Do you think
God.
this lady is touched or no?
Let's see.
Hi, today is July 6th, 2007.
It's old,
About 4:30 p.m. I'm just wondering what the heck is in our water supply? What the heck is in our oxygen supply of the metallic oxide salts that create a rainbow effect in a sprinkler?
She thinks there's a government conspiracy.
These are chemtrails.
What is oozing out of our ground that allows this type of effect to happen?
Light
Not
prisms.
just around our sun and our moon anymore. Everywhere we look, the visible spectrum is rainbows. This cannot be natural. It wasn't something.
Well, when you're offended by
years
beauty,
ago.
Right.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
angry
it's time to
bitch.
check out.
So angry.
She lives in a good neighborhood when you can hear the sirens in the background and the bullet holes in the
That happened
fence.
20
That's a nice
years
touch.
ago.
God.
But now it's happening now. We as a nation have got to ask
Okay.
ourselves, what the hell is going on? What is oozing out of our ground?
We as a nation need to appreciate a rainbow,
I know, bitch.
even on a small level.
Well, for people who aren't watching the show, so it's a sprinkler and it's created a natural rainbow.
Yeah.
And she's convinced that the government has poisoned her water supply.
the
and that's
water,
why
the light,
colors
it's
come.
just- yeah. She really broke through that conspiracy though.
And where does that leave you, man?
I think to quote Dr. Drew when he came on our show, there is a huge problem with our education system.
There is. Yeah, it really
We
is,
are
man.
fucked.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I feel like a fifth grader knows that, light through water.
Of course.
Yeah, they teach you that stuff. Clouds, rain, rainbows.
Tom, do you have dates listed on your site?
I do, yeah, of course.
Let's go through because we are doing that's hardcore pornography. We have
not on my site.
No, not on yours.
It's on Tom Rhodes. You can see hardcore
No.
I have.
He loves us porno.
Thanks for plugging my dates. I'm going to be on This Is Not Happening March 16th.
Oh, that should be fun.
That's great.
That's,
See, this episode will drop in a few weeks, so that's why I'm kind of.
Oh.
So you might have just missed.
Tom in Sacramento.
Yeah, Tom in Sacramento, or this is not happening.
That's hilarious.
That you might see.
I never
him.
would have brought it up.
Well, no, but it's just like I mean, it's just,
no, but it's true.
When's your Sacramento date?
It's March 15 through 17. He's at the Punchline. Maybe we can swap an episode. Do this one, trade out the other one. Doesn't matter, right?
Try it out.
Try it out. Then he's gonna. Holy shit! He's gonna be in Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines,
Jesus,
Hong Kong. Later in Austin, in Vegas at Brad Garrett's, Lake Tahoe. He's doing the Great Tacoma Club. We've both done that and enjoyed that.
It's a great room.
Spokane, yep.
I haven't done Spokane yet.
I've done that. It's great.
Sperm
I've done LOL. Looks like you're doing LOL in San Antonio. The La Jolla store.
San Antonio.
Zanies in Chicago. You're doing Paris. You're going to go to do shows in Paris. What's that? Have you done that before?
Yeah, actually, I was in Paris in January at this. I've played in Paris a lot, but there's this theater that I played in January, and Theater La Ouvre. And I'm booked back there October 15th.
Okay.
And I am going to film my next hour special there.
Okay.
What? On this day?
On October 15th.
All right.
So if there's any listeners who is looking for a reason to go to Paris,
That's
you should
fucking
come
nuts.
to my hour special.
Dude, now when
It's
you
gonna
do
be awesome.
when you do Paris, is it mostly expats? I mean, it's obviously
No, actually, when I was there in January, it was mostly French people who spoke English.
Wow.
So for my hour special,
You got balls.
I need to get some more English speaking people. There, but it's a phenomenal room. I have a long history with Paris. My first love of my adult life, I lived with a Parisian woman in San Francisco for 7 years.
Okay.
Natalie, we're still good friends. And the very first time I went to Paris, some guys tried to rob me, and I was maced. And
Really?
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I've got some great stories. I almost drowned in Thailand on this French resort.
do the Parisian
and-
audiences get all the nuances of your a
They
set?
also like stories, and they really love theater.
Mm-hmm.
So you would never get a heckler in France,
right?
Because the audience is just conditioned to
watch the show,
respect the performer on stage.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah, but so I've got my best stories traveling the world. I haven't done a special in like 5 years, I think. So,
dude,
it's all my
exciting. I cannot believe you're going to do it in Paris.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That is such
what
a great
size venue
idea.
is this theater?
It holds 350.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
And when I was there in January, I sold 240 tickets. It's amazing that I can sell more tickets in Paris than I can in some clubs in the United States.
Well, but Tom, I feel like that's so your thing. Like
But
you're this
that's- yeah.
international comedian. Like you're kind of a trailblazer that way. So this is fantastic.
It's great, and
It's so great.
Thanks, Christina.
Yeah,
and
it's
I love Paris. I got great stories and observations, and
love Paris.
It's magic.
Are you going to eat a lot while you're there?
Man, there's
Food?
this. Last summer when I was there, I discovered this. Ashna Googled best patisseries. There's this place called Storer, Stohrer, and I follow them on Instagram. It's
I'm
the
gonna follow
rated.
them too.
It's the
Let's
number
find them
one
right now.
rated patisserie in Paris. It's on this street called Rue Montegoya. And this street it's got bread shops and cheese shops.
Followed them
and
already.
It's such an amazing food street, but this patisserie place is the number one rated patisserie. And when I go to Paris now, I'll take the metro straight there.
Oh.
And like there's these custard tarts with like raspberries
Come
and
on, man. I'm trying to be
kiwi
carb-free,
slices
dude.
on top of it. Well, that's the thing. Like when I was there, it's I'm
I'd put
trying
on
to be
20 pounds.
I left breadcrumbs all over the city.
Yeah,
These
too good.
baguettes are only like $1.20, and these you can just walk around nibbling on bread, and
Eating
you know,
cheese,
and then
drinking
you
wine.
like
Yeah.
I got my little patisserie pastries in a box.
I'd be done
for whenever I'm ready to sit
500
down.
pounds
They would
easily.
wheel me out of Paris. I would look like what's that guy that Bert looks like? Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah.
All bloated.
Have you seen? He has a Food Channel show.
He does?
Where it's. I saw it when I was in Europe, so I don't know if it's. I thought it was the Food Channel, but it's. He's basically eating his way through Europe,
dude.
And he's so fat.
He's so fat.
enormous.
And you see, like a couple of years ago,
I'd like to see this.
there was a big story where he was on a flight and he pissed in the aisle, in the aisle of the plane, and they're like, "What the fuck, man?" And he's like, he's well over $3 now.
Yeah.
And they're like, what kind of behavior is that? He's like, well, I drink several bottles of wine every day.
Yeah.
So that's contributes to him gaining that much weight. And also, he's just like, so my behavior is just kind of erratic because
That's funny.
I'm drunk. He's
Yeah,
pissed
apparently
in the aisle. of
he
a fucking
drinks like
commercial
constantly.
flight.
He starts out with with liqueurs. He's got I heard about he's got a
I know what you're
regiment
looking
of
for.
drinking, but he's on this food show, and this friend who he travels with like explains to him, and he's just like stuffing his face with everything, and like everything is like fried in duck fat.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's
So good.
Well, he knows what's up, dude.
But in moderation. I mean, they don't have to eat the whole goddamn bowl of duck fat. You just
even a dog turd would taste good fried in
I
duck fat.
know.
I mean, Gerard.
Yes, there. You know what's?
There he is.
Oh,
wow.
And when you pull
And that
it
guy
up-
doesn't want to pay his taxes.
When you pull it up over the belly button,
Yeah.
that's when you're committed to the lifestyle. You don't sit it below the gut line.
Yeah, you're trying to hide it.
Yeah, you're like, this is.
That's like when you're a kid and you're drawing pictures of fat people.
Yeah,
Like,
This is
that's what that
enormous.
is.
And
Wow.
a cigarette.
Oh,
Cigarette.
wow.
You know what's
Smoking.
interesting, Tom? I think
Yeah.
we can trace Bird as fat to that time we put Gerard Depardieu's picture up naked. Remember?
That's true, yeah.
And then one of us was. I
Look at
remember.
that with the suspenders.
Oof.
Oh,
That's not him. That's not him. That's
That's
somebody
not
else.
here. Yeah, him.
But he, he's.
Yeah.
Where's the? What was that movie, Gene?
It was in a film, and he
Yeah.
was nude in a film, and we were watching it. And then we brought
Here
it
it
up on the
is.
show, and we were like, God, that guy, look at that belly. It looks like Bert's belly. I think that's how this
You're
thing
right.
kind of started rolling with
It's,
Bert being fat.
It's this one.
That's it.
So he's totally naked here, but it's the
His-
the
Is that
shading.
his ding dongs.
Yeah,
Yeah. His dongs
this
hanging
is
out.
him. This is that movie where
Wow.
he's playing. It's basically takes the story of the whatever the head of the International Monetary Fund was. Remember the
Oh, yeah. What was that guy's name? Yeah.
DSK. They had some
Strauss Kahn.
So many
there it is.
dicks up here. This
Yeah,
is hilarious.
I
They're
know.
all French dicks.
French dicks. Dominic Strauss-Kahn. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, and he played him in a movie.
Yeah. Well, he played a character that was
like him.
But they mimicked the story, and
What
yeah.
a gut that guy had.
That was a gut, man.
Oh, my God.
That is drinking. Yeah,
That's
drinking.
booze, man. It's just hard booze.
Shit.
TomRhodes.net, and that's RHODES.net/tour.
Try it out.
Try it out. And
Yeah, and I'll have all that information about my Paris special on the website.
So
for the
exciting.
next few months.
So exotic, Tom.
Be awesome.
So European and exotic. I love it. It's so cool.
Let me just.
You're the
pull this
future.
up.
You're the future of comedians. That's what eventually we're all going to be world tourers. You know what
Well,
I
you can
mean?
do it now, and there's great comedy fans all over the world.
I could. I'm just lazy, and I'm gonna have two small people to look after. maybe in a few years.
Oh, you'll be able to
When
bring
they're
them
up and
with
running.
Yeah,
you.
Oh, says the person without a toddler.
Right.
Some people do. They're very brave, but Tom and I, it's just not in our constitution. Like, we've traveled with Ellis twice now on an airplane. And I think I had more anxiety, and it just makes me so anxious. And
No,
Tom,
I like
too.
having home base, like having.
Just leave him home.
Yeah.
Well, what
For
were
now,
we- yeah,
he's
you're right.
older.
And maybe when Ashton and I have a child, maybe
wait.
Maybe my world travels will.
Well, no, you can tour with your child, definitely. Like Ali Wong, our good friend, brought her daughter with her, the first couple years of her life. So I think it's really up to the parent.
Yeah.
It's like what you're comfortable with, and
Allie's
if you
built for
train
that,
them.
though.
Ali loves it. She she has help that she brings, like her mom, I think, or whatever. But anyway, yeah, you
I
can do
just
it if you
picture that
start doing
person
it
on the
early.
plane with the mom with the young child crying and everybody looking with
They look
pissy
yeah,
looks.
They look. But if you do it early, like you fly like when that kid's like 2 or 3 months old, I feel like that's the way to do that. But we did not do that.
No, we did not.
We are chicken shits.
All right,
Will you do your chicken one more time before?
Oh, yeah. Please.
I love it.
Please.
Thank you.
That's really good. It's really good. Tom Rhodes, thank you for coming. It was so great to see you.
I love and adore you guys both.
It was really
Thank you
fun.
so much for having me.
And that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
I think fuckboy is one of my favorite saying, like fuckboy. You're a fuckboy.
It's a huge insult.
Fuckboy.
It's no good.
It's the PC version of faggot. Well, I like fuckboy. If I can't say faggot, I'm gonna say fuckboy. Fuckboy.
Sounds like you're already doing it.
Faggot. Fuckboy. Faggot. Fuckboy. Faggot. Fuckboy. Faggot. Fuckboy.
Sounds like you're already doing it. It's no good.
I can't.